I hope you're all ready for Hogwarts Legacy because the following weeks will be wild, and to kick things off we have a cinematic trailer brand new with a few hints to go over, more gameplay shots and info via the other official channels. Also, a quick reminder for everybody who's new here that I'm doing another giveaway for a deluxe edition of Hogwarts Legacy on whichever platform you want. You of course have to be a subscriber of the channel, leave a like on this video and comment down below what's the one thing you're most excited to see or do once the game comes out. I will reach out to the winner at the end of the giveaway via email as well as announce it on the channel. But at the 6-second mark, the trailer shows what's likely the player's letter of acceptance to Hogwarts delivered to us by our very own owl. And I will say this straight away, but this bird of prey doesn't play around, showing us exactly how dangerous even a simple job such as carrying mail can be in the Harry Potter universe. Going through thick and thin, even battles, and did this guy seriously just cast Vada Kedavra on a freaking owl? Cause I think he might have gotten a loose screw. Also, this shot is likely taken from within the castle's owlry, which we can see from the gameplay shots before actually looks pretty much in line with the theme. And judging by the window we see around the middle section, I would say it resembles that one from the trailer pretty well. At the 20-second mark, we have a scene inside of the Great Hall with students below seemingly practicing their spellcasting as the mail gets delivered. I think in-game we should expect something similar to this, with mail being delivered to us for various reasons or at certain points, as we know there's a dedicated section to the owl post in our very own pause menu. Around the 28-second mark, we have Professor Hackett, our dark arts teacher, and Professor Weasley frantically trying to calm down a group of students after what I'd presume to be an incident involving an unknown spell, as Professor Weasley can be heard during the trailer saying that they don't know what kind of spell caused this. This, of course, could imply an incident involving us, the player, since our ancient magic is technically an unknown spell to most people outside of the Ministry of Magic, though I doubt it because otherwise Weasley would have known since she does have a background working at them before. It's likely something else that might even involve the dark wizards we see later in the trailer, so maybe this is a scene when they finally do attack Hogwarts, if that does happen. But moving on towards the 40th second mark, we see two students fighting a large nest of spiders deep in the Forbidden Forest. We know that more common species are venomous, but for the most part, these are relatively easy to deal with and lore-wise can even be used as ingredients for various potions. Also, the two students can be heard casting Glacius, the freezing spell, while the one on the right side can be heard casting Incendio. So a pretty nice shot here with two very opposing magics. We've actually seen a fair bit of footage involving Incendio before, including its upgraded version, but not so much when it comes to Glacius. Obviously, this one has the power to also freeze targets, even larger ones, for a few seconds, but going off the extra uses that other spells have shown, yeah, I think that maybe this one might also get some of that. We could probably see something similar to the recent gameplay teases with Accio and Incendio. Glacius is also useful at freezing water and extinguishing fires, so I wonder if that's a possibility or a reveal that we might get at some point. But moving on, at the 43-second mark, I'm starting to get worried because we can see a camp of dark wizards with a few key things standing out. One is, well, why did they choose to imprison this hippogriff? And if they did, is this the same one that we saw in some of the other gameplay shots with the player riding it? Because I could totally see a rescue mission playing out this way, where we get to drop on a dark mage camp and free this hippogriff to make it our own companion. On the other hand, if they are indeed trying to torture it into submission, this might prove problematic later down the line for us, as that would imply they'll eventually get to learn the ability or get them to fly them as their own companion creatures. And we know that some of these flying creatures might have other uses in combat that the broom might not have. Also pretty funny, but mostly scary, they are not just all capable of casting the Killing Curse, but they all have such a loose trigger finger that they'd be willing to just randomly cast it on some owl. but this could also have a deeper meaning if you look into it. Like, what if the dark wizards know of the fact that that owl is meant for us, the player, and them casting the killing curse outright is a metaphor for the organization catching wind of our powers and as a result trying to kill us in some way. In any case, the final shot gives us another look at the dragon we saw in previous gameplay reveals. It definitely seems to be the same one, or at the very least from the same species. The mountain area he's in seems to be consistent with the same one we saw in some of the previous shots, though not all of them. It looks like we might get to discover him in some kind of cave underground at first, before fighting him outside. Also in this shot, he doesn't seem to have any magic wounds on the upper torso area, while in some of the old trailer footage they looked quite severe. This could imply in our first encounter he does escape, leaving to a different region, as the old shot shows him during winter or at least a snowy area, while the new one clearly is not. So either a mission that spans over multiple areas that we might get to chase him in, or maybe a two-part style quest where we fight him later in the game's timeline of events after initially fighting him or encountering him earlier. Anyway, I hope you're all getting ready, because today marks the first of the 4 Wizarding Wednesdays, and the main Hogwarts Legacy Twitter page already kicked things off with another short teaser. They are giving away tickets, by the way, to the theater release of The Cursed Child in London and New York, so you can follow their links. We also got a message via the French account that Hogwarts Legacy has some good surprises in store for us. So it looks like the next month ahead of the game's release will be pretty packed. Here's me hoping for another gameplay reveal, maybe number 3, which I think there's a good chance for it to happen before launch, but maybe not in the same format as the previous 2. Also, we got a few new character reveals over the past few days, starting with Professor Shah, our astronomy teacher and a Ravenclaw. We actually got some info of her from the art book leak a while ago, and after being raised largely in the Muggle world, she took an interest in science, which she carried with her into her schooling at Hogwarts. After graduating, she eventually took up a position as the professor of astronomy and devotes herself to her subjects in a way that most would find quite extreme. There's also the entry for Professor Fig, who teaches us magical theory. He's been known to work before at the Ministry of Magic with his wife Marianne, which, yeah, I think that they've done a lot of research on ancient magic. This is probably also the reason why he comes in contact with us, the player, and is one of the first to even know about our secret powers. Alongside his decade-old friend George Orsic, also the one that we saw in some of the early previews, because of his uncanny ability to unravel the most enigmatic riddles, combined with the steadfast loyalty, yeah, he was also enlisted by Miriam to help her solve a seemingly indecipherable puzzle she uncovered just before her death. But yeah, we do know that the player will also learn how to solve some of those puzzles, and maybe he is the one that teaches us the ways of doing so. In any case, we'll finish things off with a few more technical infos. There's of course one on the cross-platform aspect, and yes, there's not going to be any like cross progression for Hogwarts Legacy, at least not at start, according to the main Warner Bros. Games support page. While we know it's a suggested feature and have passed that along, the game isn't currently planned to support this feature. We appreciate your support and hope to see you all in Hogwarts. And of course, there's another even more important one when it comes to separate character slots. So it seems that there's going to be 4 of them in total in case somebody else also plays on your account. For each new character, there's going to be 2 types of save functionalities and also slots, 5 autosave slots and 10 player manual save slots, which I think is plenty enough. And I mean, it's already plenty enough for me, but let me know down below what you think. This is it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.